As entrepreneurs, we need to assemble our Porsche 911 solution, and we need to put it all together and package it up together so that it's one thing and that it includes the four elements of value. What we want to do is create a solution that is a full and remarkable solution. We want to make people feel that the cavalry has arrived. We want to make people feel that what you're offering is a full and remarkable solution that really transforms things for that person. Most small business people, most entrepreneurs came up through a schooling system which taught you how to sell your labor. So here's what it normally looks like. It normally looks like you come out of school and the career counselor says, well, you're going to be a really good accountant, so go sell yourself as an accountant, right? And you're going to be a really good lawyer, go sell yourself as a lawyer. So you're essentially saying, I have this component labor, I've got this labor, and I've got this big ball of labor every week that I need to sell. So I'm going to go and find someone who's good at buying that and who can do something with it. And I'm going to sell my labor into somebody else's organization. So that's the default assumption when it comes to the schooling system, that we sell our component labor. Now, entrepreneurs don't think like that. Entrepreneurs think a little bit differently. They don't say, I've got labor and I want to sell it. They say, you've got a problem and I'm going to solve it. And I'm going to bring to the table, right? Different language. I'm going to bring to the table all the things that you need to solve the problem. So I'm not just going to simply bring labor. If you need other things as well, maybe you need some software, maybe you need some education and training, maybe you need a number of components. I'm going to bring all of those things together, package it up, and bring that to the table. So it's a very different mindset. Component labor is, I've got labor and I want to sell that labor and I couldn't care less about anything else. And entrepreneurship is, you've got a problem and I'm going to come along and solve that for you. And I'm going to be the one who brings together everything that you need in order to solve the problem. So I have this tool that is designed to help you to think through all the different things that could bring together a full and remarkable solution. Now, the tool is actually an ancient tool. It's one of my favorite tools, and it is the deck of cards, right? It's an ancient document. And in this document, very, very smart people wanted to pass on very important information, and they decided to hide it inside this little game called the deck of cards. And for those of you who have ever gone exploring the deck of cards, you'll actually discover there's a lot hidden inside the deck of cards. So for example, there's a lot of information about time that is hidden in the deck of cards. If you add up all the cards, it comes to 364, plus 2 jokers is 365 and 366 on a leap year. If you look at the deck of cards, there's 4 seasons and there's 4 suits of cards. There's 13 weeks per season and there's 13 cards in the deck of cards. There's 52 cards in the deck of cards and 52 weeks in the year. And the deck of cards talks about 3 types of power. The king represents dominant power, military power. The queen represents institutional or virtuous power, or the church. The jack represents commercial power or finance. So there's all these different things that are going on inside the deck of cards, right? And actually what's cool is that they created the 4 suits to represent 4 types of value creation. Well, that's one of the representations. So the 4 types of value creation is innovation, which is represented by clubs. So if you think about a club, clubs you over the head. Great innovation clubs you over the head. A club is an innovation. It's something that was crafted and created. It used to actually be clouds, right? So clubs was originally clouds. And people who are very innovative, they say you've got your head in the clouds. You've got your head up there in the clouds thinking about big ideas. So innovation is clubs. Relationships is hearts, obviously. Spades is about doing the work. It's about implementation. It's about task management, actually doing stuff for people, digging the ditches, right? Getting into a rhythm, digging the ditches that need to be dug. And then diamonds represents resources, bringing together any resources that people need. And it can also be data to reflect upon, right? Diamonds is about reflecting, so it can be data and insights. But it also can be resources. A diamond is a resource. It's a condensed transportation of wealth. So we have these 4 different ways of looking at it. So imagine this. Imagine that your customer has a problem, and that problem is sitting there as a big clump of things for them. Their 99 problems is all added up. And what we want to do is we want to say we can solve this problem by innovating a new solution. We want to share with you some big ideas, some innovations. We want to bring to the table some people, some community. We want to bring to the table some done for you activities, some tasks, and we want to bring to the table some resources. And when we combine all of those four things, your problem is going to disappear. We're going to get rid of the problem, right? The problem is going to be solved. Now, here's a funny thing. It's a weird thing when it comes to value, that if you purely and simply take any one of these things and bring that to the problem on its own, it doesn't have a lot of value. But when you combine things, it starts creating a multiplier of value. So for example, if I simply, let's say you had a problem with sales, right? And you said, oh, I'm struggling to hire salespeople and train salespeople and have salespeople performing. I said, okay, great. Let me give you a great book about sales, right? So what is a book worth? Book worth is maybe 10 pounds, $20, something like that. So simply giving you all the ideas is worth about $20. If I said to you, oh, I can put you in touch with a really good sales trainer, how much will you pay me for the introduction? I don't know, that would be a bit weird, maybe $100 if you're going to make an introduction. If I said to you, I know someone who can just get on the phones and pick up the phone and make some sales and actually do that, what will you pay me to manage that person? Okay, there might be a little bit of value created there. I've got some sales dashboards, some sales software, some CRM systems, right? What would you pay for that? Now, maybe that might be $30 or $40 a month. Now, if I start combining these things and say, look, I've got an amazing sales training system and I've written a book about it. I've got a team of people who can train and develop your staff and who can find good salespeople. We've got a team of people who can actually work with your salespeople week in, week out and oversee their development. And we've got software that we can bring to the table to make sure that we can actually do CRM, customer relationship management software. And we can bring all of that in and do all of that. Suddenly it sounds like thousands and thousands of dollars or thousands and thousands of pounds worth of work. So the strange thing is that if you separate this one, this one, this one, and this one, they're all worth, I don't know, $100 each maybe. But when you bring them all together, they're somehow magically worth thousands of dollars each, or they're thousands of dollars as a package. It's kind of like if you go down to the Porsche dealership and say, I want to buy a Porsche 911. And they say, well, we don't have a Porsche 911. We just have all the parts. So you can buy the tires and the steering wheel and you can buy this and that. Suddenly it's like, oh, I'm not really attracted to that idea. It's not very good. But if we put it all together and it's a Porsche 911, oh, okay, I'll pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for that. Thank you very much. So as entrepreneurs, we need to assemble our Porsche 911 solution. We need to put it all together and package it up together so that it's one thing and that it includes the four elements of value, the clubs, the hearts, the spades, and the diamonds of value.